My friends, I promised you all a re-review of the K-beauty brand Haruharu Wonder, and we are doing that today. I'm so excited. This is a brand that I reviewed several years ago, and they've come out with some very exciting releases since. We are going to do kind of that tier list ranking style video today where I have 4 categories, same as last year. We have a category for decluttering, which let me tell you, your girl needs. We need to get rid of some products we aren't using. I have a category, which is pretty self-explanatory. We have the good products category, which is where most products should fall. They should go through product testing created by cosmetic chemists that know what they're doing. Most products should be good. And lo and behold, that's where most products are going to fall in this video. And then we have that top tier, the best of the best, in which I have 3 products out of 15. 15 products in total for this video. As always, timestamps and links are in the description box below. I'm filming with makeup on today because I'm currently on antibiotics, so don't look at, not for skin related reasons, so don't look at my skin for a bit for how products are performing, because you're just gonna see how the antibiotics are working. You know, I truly feel that actually what I've seen is I had some really good bacteria on my face. What a bummer that I had to be invaded by bad bacteria elsewhere. Ugh. Oh, and one more thing for this video. I've been thinking a lot, you know, you haven't seen as many videos lately, but I've been thinking, as I always do over here, and I realized I want to talk about people feeling scammed by skincare. I feel like this is a really good video to have that conversation, so I hope it can be a bit enlightening. You know, I feel bad when people say they feel scammed by a brand, by an influencer, by other reviews. Why does this happen? I think it would help to talk it out. And one more thing, I've gone back and forth on pricing in K-beauty brands. Why is Haruharu Wonder especially confusing with pricing? Is this EGF serum supposed to be $80 or $20? Because maybe it's just me, but that's a big price difference for me. So you'll see prices in some of my little ingredients list, but not in everything, because I just started to get extremely confused. There is a sale going on over on the YesStyle website at the time I post this. There's always a sale on the Stylevana website. You all get it. But without further ado, are you ready to get into ranking Haruharu Wonder? Starting out this video with the Declutters category. So I'm going to be decluttering this Black Rice Hyaluronic Essence. Now, before you get too worried about whether this is a scented brand, if you share my sensitive skin type, not so much anymore. It seems that Haruharu Wonder is one of many brands that is moving into more of a fragrance-free direction. This was from the before time, it seems. Have you all seen the newest release? They have some probiotics essence, postbiotics, no living bacteria, in shelf-stable skincare. It just popped up on the YesStyle website. I'm probably going to pick it up because that is a lot more up my alley than this. And it's not to say there's anything wrong with this product, just that it's primarily a hydrating product with a bit of essential oils. It's just not a perfect combination for me. I have dry, acne-prone, sensitive skin. I need more in my products than just hydration. But I do want to pass this along. That's why I've saved the box. I believe this was gifted through one of the advent calendars. You know, just not a product that I would purchase, but I can see the appeal. I can see someone really enjoying this as a hydrating product that isn't too sticky or heavy. And then we have the Black Rice Hyaluronic Cream. Now, this was a limited edition from the Fantasy collab. I don't know what that is. So last April, I made an order on Style Korean, and they were giving this away with all orders because it expired in May of 2023. You know, that's so smart. If you have products that are about to expire, give them away to people. Did I get a lot of use from this? No, but I was able to experience the texture of this in a way that's kind of hard with some of the, foil samples. This is a nice lightweight, not lightweight, medium weight. It's a medium weight cream. And if a brand is going to have only one moisturizer, they're probably going to go with this category, medium weight, because that way people with dry skin won't hate it like we would a gel, and people with oily skin won't hate it like they would a very heavy cream. This is where that is it a scam conversation comes in. You know, to me, this is the definition of a fine moisturizer, and I feel like I just don't have a lot more to add to that conversation. You know, if you have sensitive skin, probably skip it. It does have essential oils, although they do have a version that is free of fragrance. That's been a thing for Haruharu Wonder for a long time, a fragrance version and a fragrance-free version. I do feel that with moisturizer, it's so important to find the right texture for your skin type. So if you are oily, this might be too heavy. If you are dry, this might be too light. If you have a normal skin type, this might be perfect. But if you are on those extreme ends, I've never felt like you're going to go, oh, okay, I'll put up with this being too light or too heavy. No, I feel like you have to find the right moisturizer for you. Moving into the category, this is a hard one. I do think that starting with the Centella ACE Vitafull Miracle Healing Multi-Balm is probably the perfect place to start this conversation. The problem, and the reason I ultimately have to put this in the category, is that Haruharu Wonder says this is a multi-stick for lots of different reasons. They say you can use it on your hands, they say you can use it on your elbows, on your knees, on your face. You can't though. It's way too stiff for those purposes. But you know what this is perfect for? Heels, for cracked heels. They even say it in their own gallery. It's perfect for that because then you don't have to touch feet. You can see how I feel about that. It's perfect for that. And I think this is exactly how you can have some people saying, oh, I actually love this. If you have cracked heels, that is very uncomfortable. Do people know this? Maybe people know this. This helps a lot with that. I can see why people love it, but I can also see why people would be very frustrated with this because, again, it just does not work for those other purposes that the brand kind of suggests it does. In my personal opinion, at least, this is the category, so know in advance. You can always leave your thoughts in the comment section below. It is okay to have a very different experience from me. But let's talk about the Black Rice Facial Oil, and you probably think I'm putting this in the category because it too has fragrance, and I might have made it a little clear at this point that fragrance isn't my personal favorite. But it's actually just because it's still true what I said years and years ago. I just think that indie brands do oils the best. This is fine. It's again that definition of fine. I don't hate it, but I just find it to not be anywhere near as exciting as the indie brands that use beautiful lists of carrier oils, perfect combinations that I feel really make a difference in your skin. Of course I do. I have dry skin. I want the benefits of oil, which it slips into the cracks in our dry skin and really softens our skin type. Whereas some of the other ingredients in this oil and a lot of others are just kind of meant to lighten the feel of oils. Personal preference is a huge part of skincare, and people are going to have different preferences. No, I'm actually nervous about these next two, but I think that this goes with our is it a scam conversation oh so well. Let's talk about the Centella 3% PHA Gentle Liquid Exfoliating Serum. When I first tried this, I really loved it. I actually loved it for a couple of weeks, and then I quit using it. So let me explain what happened here. This is a product with 3% PHA in orange water for some reason. Not the same as orange essential oil, but still orange water. It's a bit of an odd choice, in my opinion. And 3% PHA, that is an exfoliant alternative to something like AHA or BHA. I have a sensitive skin type, and ingredients like AHA in particular, that is so hard for my skin type. So I loved how gentle this was. Can you all guess where this is going? You can guess. Yeah, after a couple weeks I was going, well, it's gentle, but is it doing anything? I mean, I have a sneaking suspicion this is where a lot of this feeling scammed, feeling like you wasted your money based on something an influencer said boils down to. You have to find influencers that have a similar skin type to you, because I have bought those strong products based on other people's recommendations, felt like I burned my face off. Where it's tricky is that this is a product claiming to be for pore care, and while I can actually use it, I still feel unsure that it's giving me quite the level of results that I maybe hoped for. For those of us with sensitive skin, it is a very difficult, challenging journey to find those perfect ingredients that work for us. You know, one for me is, tragically, because of the price point, SK2. But yeah, I just kind of gave up on this. Maybe I shouldn't have. If you've tried it longer, feel free to comment. You know, I've only went to about here in using this product. So maybe I'm speaking too soon. That is absolutely a possibility. But as of this particular moment, I feel more about this one. I don't know if it's fair for me to put this in this category, but we have to chat about the Centella 4% TXA Dark Spot Go Away Serum. We have to talk about this. I feel like I have to correct something that I said about this recently now that I have new information. That's the way science works, but it's a little bit more frustrating than that. So let's start at the beginning. This is a product that is claiming to help treat dark spots with ingredients like 4% niacinamide and 4% tranexamic acid. Now, where this gets tricky is that niacinamide at 4% is where you start to see some of that evening of your skin tone. That is a great ingredient, and that's why we see it so often. I'm tired of niacinamide, but I get it. 4% tranexamic acid had a lot of us really excited. Tranexamic acid is supposed to be kind of a newer ingredient that can help with dark spots. The problem is we haven't yet seen a lot of published data proving its efficacy. I actually felt a bit offended by some of the videos that I've seen on social media of doctors saying things like, this tranexamic acid ingredient, we don't have any research showing its efficacy, and so therefore it doesn't work. I have been so flustered over here as somebody who works in research, not skincare research, but research nonetheless. I've been so frustrated that this isn't how this works. If there's no research, you can't say something doesn't work. Instead, you do the research. It's just not how things work. But bless Lab Muffin. Lab Muffin is such a gem. She is such a gem. Because I don't remember which video she said this in, but she was talking about tranexamic acid, and she said she had talked to some skincare researchers, and they said they did do research on this ingredient. They found that it did not work, but they weren't able to publish their findings. And y'all, this is another one of these problems that exists in the research. It's a real problem. You should publish everything, whether something works or doesn't work. However, sometimes when you're funded by a company, they want to see good findings. So you might have an agreement where they'll fund your research, but if it doesn't work, you can't publish. And it's wild. Honestly, capitalism shouldn't exist in research, but I have no idea. I have no idea how to fix the fact that it does. But it does make a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense in my mind as to why I've seen other dermatologists and doctors say this ingredient is just not worth your time. Let's all collectively say, oh, this is why we're saying this, instead of continuing this myth that if something hasn't been studied, it doesn't work. I just can't wrap my brain around how people start believing that. You realize that in 1920, retinoids hadn't yet been studied, right? Anyway, so that's new information, which is why I am changing my opinion on tranexamic acid. Again, thank you, Lab Muffin. Wonderful, wonderful channel here on YouTube and other social media platforms. I still do think that this is a nice product, just a nice niacinamide product. But now, my friends, we are moving into the good category. Like I said, this is where most products should reside. We have a lot of good products here. Let's start with the toner. This is absolutely one of the, if not the most popular product from Haruharu Wonder. There are two varieties of it, a scented version and an unscented version. This is the fragrance-free version. The Black Rice line is Haruharu Wonder's core line. It's what put them on the map, if you will, and it's a great line. You know, rice is a great ingredient for sensitive skin. It's a very gentle ingredient that gives great antioxidant activity. And this toner has such great body to it. If you are somebody who wants to just use your hands to apply your toner, oh, this is perfect. You pour it into your hands. It doesn't run because it is a bit thicker, and it does feel really hydrating as such. I would say this, to me, is one of the most hydrating toners that I've ever tried. It's still COSRX Propolis that takes my #1 most hydrating toner spot, but this is absolutely up there. A little goes a long way with this product as well because it is so thick, so if you find that you are running through your toners a little bit too quickly, you might want to look for one of these more body to it type of toners. Yes, that is what they're called. While we're here, why don't we talk about double cleansing with Haruharu Wonder, because they're so good at it. This is my first time opening this, but you just saw this in an empties. It's a repurchase. The Black Rice Moisture Deep Cleansing Oil. This is one of my favorite cleansing oils, and I didn't expect it. The reason I didn't expect it is because this is a little bit of a heavier cleansing oil. I thought it might be too heavy, but it actually works really well. I think that because it is heavy, it doesn't really drip into your eyes in removing your eye makeup. Again, black rice, one of the most gentle ingredients you can use. Turns out it's great in a cleansing oil. This is also fragrance-free, and like we've talked about, a lot of people say fragrance is fine in the wash-off step, and yet we're seeing a lot of people say things like, well, you all said that it was fine in the wash-off step, and I had a horrible reaction to Anua's cleansing oil. Because there's really no hard rules in skincare, and we have to remember that. Some people still might react to fragrance and wash-off products. So this, one of my top recommendations, still to this day, one of my top recommendations. But I want to include their new Centella Sunflower Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. I requested this from Stylevana this month. I was over here thinking, if Haruharu Wonder is this good at cleansing oil, I bet this balm will be really nice also, and lo and behold, it is. Brilliant packaging, the scoop fits into the lid and it actually stays. It actually stays. It's a fragrance-free cleansing balm with some centella in it, and you know what I realized? I realized that part of why I love Haruharu's cleansing oil and cleansing balm is that they emulsify really easily. Cleansing balms and oils work by emulsifying. That's how you remove your makeup and skincare, but truth be told, it is easier to emulsify some than others, and I just feel that's another strength of Haruharu Wonder and why their cleansing oil and now their cleansing balm are such effective products. But let me not forget about their cleansing gel. This is also really a great cleanser. It is more of a gentle cleanser, and that is kind of hard to find in kbeauty. I've talked a lot about this on this channel. I just feel that most kbeauty cleansers are a little bit more stripping than I prefer. You can use a lot less product, a tiny, tiny pea-size amount, but it's still more challenging for my dry skin type. But this cleansing gel really does stand out. It really is more gentle. There is an AHA variety. Make sure you buy whichever one you're interested in, but just as a heads up, this one is the Black Rice Soft Cleansing Gel. Beautiful product. Then we have the Black Rice Bakuchiol Eye Cream. This is another one of these products where I see why some people really like it, but for me, it's just kind of okay. First of all, it has niacinamide, and I swear this is the video where I'm forcing myself to acknowledge niacinamide really is a great ingredient. I'm just tired of it, I'm just tired of it. But is it effective? Yes. I've seen a lot of people say that they feel this was actually a very brightening eye cream. It's probably not because of that retinol alternative. Don't get me wrong, bakuchiol is a nice antioxidant ingredient, but it's probably that niacinamide giving you brightening results. It has a lightweight feel. It is nice under makeup. I do have to admit that as a person that wears makeup myself, but as a dry skin type, too light for nighttime use. You know I prefer my Hamish for nighttime use. And for a light eye cream, I don't know how I'll ever use this kind of system again, at least as my default, now that I've found the way Tear's eye cream works. Ugh, it's just so nice. Why did they have to give her a Birkin? Why Tear? And finally, a newer release, the Black Bamboo Daily Soothing Sun Shield SPF 50+, PA4+. This is a stick. Now, in the past I've talked about how I like to use stick sunscreens for touch-ups over makeup. This is actually, surprisingly, not a good one for that purpose. It glides really nicely. With all sun sticks, you kind of have to get them going, so you're going to see it tug on my skin a bit at first. But once you get it going, this one glides really well, really well. It is actually quite emollient, so much so that it definitely moves around blush. Of course, some people just use sun sticks for reapplying, not over makeup, and some people use it as their base sunscreen. I actually used this as my base sunscreen today. That's the clip you saw. I just never really know with sun sticks. I never really know. Still, I do like this one, and that's why it's going in the good category. I'm so excited for our top tier, the best Haruharu Wonder products. Are you ready? Let's just stay with the sunscreens. We have the Black Rice Moisture Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen SPF 50+, PA4+. I have to use an old clip showing you the application of this because, oops, I accidentally finished this. This is a great sunscreen. Now, I do want to talk to you again in terms of this whole feeling scammed. I actually didn't like this at all the first time I tried it. How many of you remember, oh, I did not like this at all. I tried it on and I was going, why is it so sticky and tacky? What is this? Because the brand says that this is actually a sunscreen for oily skin types. You know, isn't that the last sensation that oily skin types would want? I don't even want that as a person with dry skin. However, I figured out that the problem was you have to apply this over a light moisturizer. You cannot apply this over a heavy cream, or it seems to react with the cream and create that tacky sensation. So I ultimately suspect that that might be why Haruharu Wonder says this is for oily skin, is because you don't want to use this with a heavy cream. But listen, if you are wearing this over a light moisturizer or maybe no moisturizer at all, you know, it is a moisturizing sunscreen. It can act as your moisturizer. The finish is beautiful. It's not a matte finish, but it is, it's velvety. It's not too shiny, just a really natural finish, and this is that new formula where we don't even have that Tinosorb M filter, the one that contributes a little bit of a white cast. This is so fast to apply, no white cast, and still gives you that SPF 50+, PA4+ coverage. It's a wonderful product, wonderful formula. One of my absolute favorites from the brand. By the way, the only reason I'm flat out of this product, even though I actually did have some backups, is because I gave away the backups. Not because it's bad, but because I love it so much that it's really hard for me not to share, especially the sunscreen category. Then we have the Black Rice Hyaluronic Botanical 2GF Wonderful Ampoule. Now listen, this is a product that contains EGF, epidermal growth factor. It's a bit of a controversial ingredient. This is combined with fibroblast growth factor, both at 10 parts per million, both derived from rice, by the way. Combined further with fermented black rice, the trio here is supposed to support the skin's barrier, and oh, how I feel it does. But it is one that I personally really love to use after microneedling. Kind of building a controversial statement on a controversial statement. I know, but it really does work well for me. You just see so many of those companies that claim to be medical grade, which is not any kind of regulated terminology. Most of you watching this channel know this. Anyway, tons of brands charge $300 for this kind of product. Here you can get one from kbeauty for somewhere between $20 and $80. Our very last product for this video, oh my gosh, this was so hard for me to get my hands on. I had multiple subscribers telling me, Alice, Alice, you love peptides. You are going to love the new Centella, Phyto, and 5-peptide concentrate cream from Haruharu Wonder. So I added it to my YesStyle cart and it was sold out. YesStyle emailed me and said, cancel if you want, it's out of stock. I canceled. This happened again several months later. I think I just called this new, but it's actually about a year old. It's just that I finally got it. I finally ended up getting it from Stylevana, and listen, this is top tier. It's top tier not only because what a gorgeous ingredients list. Thank you for disclosing. Thank you for disclosing Haruharu Wonder. Sometimes people get so funny about these low percentages of peptide concentrations, but all of these peptides are used at low levels. You tend to see them referred to in the form of their complex. See one of my peptides videos for more about this. But it's not just that that's making this a great product. It is also such a gorgeous, thick cream. If you have been dreaming of something like the Biossance Omega Cream existing in kbeauty, you know we just haven't had that. We've had all these lightweight creams. Makes sense, Korea is a bit more of a humid region, but some of us want heavy creams. Haruharu Wonder came through, and it doesn't even just stop there because this is also a refillable system. I admit to you, I don't know if I love the way this works, but it does keep it a little more affordable, which is good given that it's kind of small. This is actually only 1 fluid ounce, which is surprising. About 15 for that. The refills are about 10. Is it less plastic waste? I guess it's a little less. But that would run you about 25 for 2 fluid ounces of a thick, fragrance-free, peptide-rich moisturizer. No, I'm very happy with it. I am very happy with it in the end. And my friends, that is 15 Haruharu Wonder products ranked. Let me know your thoughts. You can feel free to disagree with me. As always, we have different skin, we have different preferences. It's okay to have different opinions. Again, I do have more re-reviews on the way. Someone suggested Suasu, and I love that idea. So make sure you stay tuned if you don't want to miss those other re-reviews. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.